Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. We are back at it with another Caleb's Critique Corner, and this has been a really fun series for me so far, so I'm really happy that a lot of people submitted footage. Today we'll be featuring battles from SilverFlowerSon, so I'm going to be very excited to see how these battles go. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. I don't know what the elo is, but we'll find out soon after some of these battles. But before we get too far into this, let's take a look at the team once it starts. So it looks like it's a Dunsparce, Frostlass, and Medicham team. So this is obviously Open Great League, not Remix. And I guess it potentially could be Retro Cup, actually, now that I think about it. Let's see how it plays out, and we'll determine if it's Retro Cup or not. Yeah, so it looks well, I guess let's see what the meta is first. I'm not going to say too much. Something to know is this does look like it potentially is on an iPad or something, so kind of interesting. Pretty wide POV. That being said, is going to safe swap the Medicham, no shields, the Weather Ball. And so I think my first point is probably just build up to the Psychic. You can potentially force a shield, even if you still bait with the Ice Punch. It's just that if you throw straight Ice Punch, it's unlikely that the opponent will shield. Alright, we do get a good optimization timing there, so good on that. And then coming in, it's going to be a Rakwanid. This is kind of interesting. Again, in this situation, you want to, one, build up to a Shadow Ball, but two, you ideally want to, if you're going to bait Ice Avalanche, you want to at least build up to it, right? Because it's going to be resisted. Avalanche at least is neutral. Good no shield, because none of these moves are really threatening by any means. But again, definitely want to build up to the Shadow Ball, because the water typing of a Rakwanid is going to resist all this ice damage. Alright, they are shielding though. Or no, they didn't shield the last one. But yeah, this time building up a little bit more energy. I think one potential play is just swapping out. Yeah, I love this play, right? Clear the debuffs and then end up throwing the Rock Slide. Obviously it was a catch, but we still get the shield back, so it's actually not a big deal. I kind of like this play. Don't shield the Breaking Swipe and then go straight for the Avalanche. I think you lose CMP. Oh, actually no, they didn't have the move. All right, so that's fine. And then now you just go straight Shadow Ball, you shield everything, and should be able to win. Yeah, so good plays here, good adjustments. Again, just a little things like, you know, building up energy before baiting, and then obviously going straight for the Shadow Ball. Oh, this is actually Infestation. I didn't even notice. Oh wow, it's actually not enough. This is gonna be interesting. I actually don't know if they win this now. Okay, yeah, so I have to Power Stone down. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, actually, I don't know. This still might be retro. I guess by the time you see this, you'll know if it's Retro Cup or not. I can't really tell currently because we haven't seen the selection screen for the meta yet. It could be Open Great League as well. Again, some of this footage was sent to me a little bit later, so obviously it might have been before leagues rotated. Sent a little bit earlier. Yeah. All right. Go straight for the Shadow Ball. The opponent goes Psycho Boost, which is kind of nice. Yeah, you don't have to shield this one, and you can at least grab a second shield off your opponent. Probably aim for the Shadow Ball. Yeah, because that just unfortunately is not enough. I guess you don't live. You unfortunately don't live the counter anyway, so I think that's fine. All right, going for the rollout down. I like this play. And then at 100 energy now, you just throw the Rock Slide, and Rock Slide's gonna be pretty good here. Yeah, I think this is only the second Pokemon we've seen. They just didn't swap out for Deoxys Defense for whatever reason. But yeah, getting a ton of energy and a ton of value out of this Dunsparce. Kind of an undercharge. I don't know if it's super necessary, but it's fine. It was going to knock out either way. Yeah, so this is pretty good. Shields down. This is actually not that bad for Medicham. Yeah, go straight for the Psychic. No need to overfarm. If you get debuff, even better. And then now you just need to get to that Ice Punch. This is probably a bait, but you kind of have to shield. Yeah. And then here comes the, ooh. Alright, this is going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be a Shadow Ball. So, good baiting on the opponent's end. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's too much SilverFlower could have done in that situation. I think the big thing is just calling a 50-50 bait, right? Because I think everything else that was done here was pretty much correct. You went straight for the Shadow Ball. You could potentially go for Avalanche bait, but I think overall, like, that matchup was played pretty well. It just came down to this 50-50 call from the Frostlass. Let's see how much health was on this Altaria. Yeah, I mean, honestly, even if you let an Avalanche go and then shield another Avalanche, it would put you so low that the Dragon Breath damage might be too much anyway. Yeah, I think in that situation, that's one of the good situations where there's only so much you get done even if you lost, right? Oh, okay, so this team just completely flipped. Oh, it's a completely different team, I guess. Still not sure. Oh, we see the elo range 2048, I think. Pretty solid, but yeah, the team is very different now. Personally, I get out here because you have two things that beat the Abomasnow in the back, right? Charizard, pretty solid matchup. I mean, Weather Ball is a little threatening, but not too bad. You do super effective wing attacks at least, and then Frostlass is gonna win this. No shielding potential. Energy Ball is kind of wild. Okay, and I'm calling it. And here comes the Stone Edge. All right, yeah, this is fine swap. I personally, again, would just swap right away. Don't want to mess around too much there. All right. And then they come in with a Kingdra. This could still be Retro Cup, I think. Yeah, it probably is all the same meta, actually, now I think about it, because if you look at the timestamps, they're all recorded. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we see it. It was Wednesday at July 12th, so this is probably Retro Cup. Assuming time zones. Yeah, it's definitely Retro Cup. All right, oh, it's a Dragon Breath Charizard. Oh, no wonder why. Okay, that is something else. Yeah, this is overall is looking pretty good. Dragon Breath Charizard, I can understand why you don't swap out, but again, Quagsire is still worse in my opinion than Charizard is in that matchup. But I think overall how it played out was good though. Yeah, but again, I think it's just like when you have two better checks to their lead Pokemon, it just doesn't really make too much sense to stay in, right? Especially if you could potentially get one shot. Luckily, that was not the case. This is pretty good though. Good timing here too. You want to throw on the odds, and then swapping to the Frostlass. I don't hate this swap. I like letting this go too because they might lunge you. This charge is fine. I probably would have thrown the Avalanche though, but before they get so that way they don't get another move off. But that's fine. Good optimizing here. To get this Avalanche off, they no shields. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, this is fantastic. The problem is they're going to Powder Snow you down. There's almost no way they don't. So in that situation, there's almost 100% chance they shield that potential Shadow Ball. It's not the worst case scenario to go for Avalanche there, right? Because if you go for Avalanche, no, you don't actually make enough one. Never mind. I was going to say, sometimes you want to throw the bait move when it seems obvious you're going to shield it. The potential nuke move, because it forces them to throw the NG head time before instead of fast moving down. But it looked like in that situation when it's going to matter. All right. I like letting that first one go. And then, yes, save the energy. I like that call. This is going to put you quite low, unfortunately. This is actually a little scary. Oh, they went straight Shadow Ball. Yeah, so this is where it gets really tough, right? I would probably... So in this scenario, I'd probably let them wing attack you a few more times. Because here's the thing. They're not going to get to a Sky Attack anytime soon, right? I mean, they're probably like 3 wing attacks off. Throw right before they get to, or CMP on it. This makes it so that the Frostlass can't farm too much off you, right? So they got, what, 3 Powder Stones off? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's enough. But it's just a little risky, right? Just don't give them the energy. Just let the opponent whittle you down, because you're going to one-shot him anyway, but just gives the opponent's Frostlass less energy to come out with, right? So luckily it wasn't enough. Yeah, this is a good swap because especially Dragon Breath Charizard should be fine. This is kind of a weird, a tough no shield. So they might not have a great check for this, but they could just let such a Dragon Breath you down at this point, right? Oh, okay. Actually, I guess it kind of works out. I probably still would shield that potentially because Frost is so frail. But oh wow, okay. Wait, is this the same player? They had like same CP Frostlass. Wild. Probably isn't, but okay. Yeah. So anyway, let me just catch up on what I was saying here real quick. So the reason why is because they could potentially maintain switch advantage by just shielding and Dragon Breathing you down, right? In this situation, because they land the Sky Attack. I personally would probably just tank the shield the Sky Attack, overfarm a little bit more, because Frostlass has really good coverage. There's only a few things that resist both ghost and ice damage. Like Weavile's like one of the few things, right? Pawniard, right? Stuff like that. But for the most part, there's not a lot that does, which means that energy is going to be pretty valuable. But the opponent did swap in their own Frost Slash, which allowed you to get to that Shadow Ball, which is definitely a mistake on their end. At this situation, I don't know. I'd probably come in Charizard here. Altar is more or less a Mud Boy counter, so they're okay. Well, actually, they're not super strong into Charizard on the back, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I'd probably just come in Charizard and just Dragon Breath down. Charizard with energy is always very nice. Straight for the Blast Burn. I don't hate it. But they probably shield, right? The problem is you're forced to shield in this scenario, and maybe the play is, what's their last Pokemon? Yeah, you just go straight for the Dragon. Ooh, yeah, I probably just go straight for the Dragon Claw. I think there's still enough. Yeah, I think you still have plenty. Let's see, it's not Shadow. Yeah, just enough. But so if you look here, right, they can't counter you down, right? So, and just keeping track of the Medicham counts, right? You want to know that. You want to make sure they don't like get too much energy. If they get too close to Ice Punch, maybe it's fine. But counter is pretty easy to keep track of energy on. So if you don't know the counts of stuff, I highly recommend Pokemoves.com. Pokemoves. Very useful website for counts. There's a lot of websites that could do counts, but that's a really important one that helps me a lot personally. But I think at this range, you just throw the Dragon Claw. Because if you throw the Dragon Claw, they're forced to throw. They can't counter you down, right? They can't come up with too much energy, and you just throw the Mud Bomb to finish it off. The scary part is if they take you out before you get that Dragon Claw off, because then there's a chance the Mud Bomb's not enough energy. Not enough, and not going to take you down enough. All right. Okay, so this matchup is kind of a weird one. So in this situation, I personally would come in Charizard. Trevenant. Obviously, Trevenant got nerfed, but still, Trevenant shields up is actually a Frost Slash counter. So the opponent here can actually win Switch Advantage against you, which, if you look at this lead, is really not great because Lantern's a hard counter to Charizard, and then if they swapped out instantly to a Grass type, they probably have another Grass type or Altaria or something that beats Quagsire, right? Maybe a Medicham, something for neutral. So just something to watch out for. But yeah, shields up because they outpace you to the C-Bomb. They don't need to go Shadow Ball, right? Once they land one C-Bomb. Oh, they went Shadow Ball, okay. But even if they land one C-Bomb, you don't shield, the Shadow Claw down and shield, right? Come up with all this energy. And then also, like, you can't come back in with your Quagsire, right? But yeah, as you can see, even after throwing the Shadow Ball first, you still get outpaced, right? If they go C-Bomb after. So, a lot of 1475 CP Pokemon. Interesting. And this puts you in a really awkward spot, right? Because now you have to come in Quagsire, which is not a great matchup. You get a shield though. It's interesting. Yeah, I think in this situation you definitely want to stay in. You can't pivot out to Charizard. Oh, they go Vigoroth. Okay, there's some play here. Yeah, you go straight Charizard. I like this. Yeah, Vigoroth is kind of again a very easy Pokemon to count. The moves on 5 counters to Body Slam. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Probably could have done a little bit more Dragon Breath, but not that in the world. Alright, now you're in a pretty good spot because the Quagsire is going to come close to almost taking it out with... Nah, you still need 2 Mud Bombs. But still, you're in a pretty commanding spot. Potentially, they could still... Ooh, you're going to get hit by 2 Surfs, actually. Potentially, they could catch, but I don't think they need to. Because this, unfortunately, is not enough to KO, right? Oh, wait, it is. Okay. I stand corrected. Oh, but the Trevenant still gets to move. Wait, what? Why did I KO? I could have sworn... Are you... Yeah, it's my bomb. I thought I was like, how did I KO from that range? It's interesting. Okay. Either way, let's review this specific matchup. Because I think there's definitely some stuff to pick up on this, right? So right here, again, let's play out that more ideal scenario, right? You come in, Charizard straight into Trevenant. You have to shield the potential Shadow Ball bait with a C-Bomb bait when they're going for when they have Shadow Ball energy, but C-Bomb is more energy intensive these days, so it's actually not the worst bait to shield because it still takes them quite a while to get to the next move, and you could just, your Dragon Breath's going to add up, you just throw one Dragon Claw and just finish it off, right? Yes, they farm you down with the Lantern, but you still have Quagsire for it, and then you have Frost Slash for the Vigoroth, and Frost Slash is a very reliable check to Vigoroth because Vigoroth takes forever to get to a Bulldoze, which is the only meaningful damage. Whereas you're resisting the counter damage, resisting the body slam damage, and your avalanche hurts a lot for neutral. So I think at the cost of 1 shield, I think it's still worthwhile, right? Because again, this is also, is it a Spark Lantern? I think it's a Spark Lantern, right? Let's see here. Is it Spark Lantern one? Yeah, it's Spark Lantern, right? So it's not going to be nearly as strong into that Quagsire. So even if you have a down a shield, you're still in a good spot, right? But I think that's the win con for that one. But you know, I think it just depends on how much you play Frost Class into Trevenant, but over time you'll realize that, yeah, Trevenant is very reliable into Frost Class, despite the fact that Frost Class is Ice. Ooh, great catch here. I like this a lot. Ends up catching a Leaf Blade too, which is massive. And then this is just going to be a Night Slash, so I think you're fine to let it go. It gets a little dicey if they shield this, I will say that, because they could potentially double shield. Yeah, or they only need single shield. All right. So you come in Frost Slash. They're going to throw a Night Slash at you, and you unfortunately have to shield. Wait, let me double check what the lead was. I'm actually blanking here. Oh, it's Frost Slash lead. Okay. I actually don't hate this because you need some way to deal with Frost Slash. Frost Slash, actually, all things considered, is actually pretty tough for the team. So coming away without switch advantage, but with energy lead, is actually not the worst case scenario. I actually kind of like this play a lot. All right, comes in Lantern that 2 or 3 sparks, I think, at this point. But this is good though, because you have a lot of energy. I forgot you left with energy because you caught the Leaf Blade. Actually, really nice. And then throwing the Mud Bomb. That's a little risky, so I think it was closing in on CMP. No, I guess they were just one away. This is fine though, yeah, because you could just Mud Shot down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Nice, nice. I think that was well played. Obviously the Leaf Blade catch was maybe a little risky, but again, if they're running, if they're running Brave Bird, they're going to charge with the Brave Bird. If not, they're just going to throw a Night Slash at you, right? So, not the end of the world. Yeah, I think overall that was really well played. Good idea to come in with Lapras, or with the Frost Slash there. All right. Oh, another catch. Okay. Well, yeah, SilverFlower definitely knows their counts for sure. And I like this. Throwing at good optimized timing. Very nice. So they go Drill Run. I don't know if this is worthwhile. I think you probably still want to go for the Shadow Ball. Okay. Well, you get a shield from it at least. Yeah, you definitely come in Quagsire. I'm a little concerned because they're probably pretty strong into Quagsire in the back if they didn't swap out. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Alright, you throw Stone Edge, maybe shields. So here's the problem. Oh, wait. Okay, well, never mind then. I was going to say, yeah, you're in a great spot now. I was going to say, if they shield and throw a move, you probably have to shield because you don't want your Charizard to be permanently debuffed. They go straight for the Sludge Bomb, which is really nice because, I mean, I guess they weren't going to get to another move anyway. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Yeah, I like this. Let it go. If it's not Feather Dance, then they just get one shot from Stone Edge. If it is Feather Dance, that's fine. I probably would still go for just the Blast Burn at this point because they're pretty much going to be in Stone Edge range. Yeah, but either way, this is kind of a hard one to lose, especially with the energy lead here. Yeah, you just shield. Even if it's Feather Dance, no problem. You go straight for the Stone Edge, enough to KO. Yeah, really good. Good execution there. Great catch, actually, overall. Really, really nice. If that was random, then really nice read. But seems like SilverFlower does know their counts. Alright, Medicham, yeah, you swap out right away for this. Okay, farm up a little extra energy, I guess. I don't know. So, a few things. Charizard as a safe swap's a little risky. Especially because in a meta where... Oh, I guess this is Retro. Oh, I guess Retro is fine because nothing resists the Dragon Breath damage, right? So I guess that's okay. But I think Frost is still probably a little better safe swap. The thing is, I probably wouldn't swap on a Medicham because if you get hit by Ice Punch on Charizard, it's still neutral. And if you get hit by a Psychic, that's still a lot of damage. I probably would just swap straight away to Charizard or Frostlass to start off, right? Because catching any of this energy is not particularly as meaningful as some of the other catches that we saw so far. Alright. Landing the Blast Burn is pretty nice. Yeah, you just have to let the Stone Edge go. You don't want to go down 2 shields. Wait, what? They went Mud Bomb? I'm really confused. Okay, maybe you could win switch here. Yeah, wait, what? Okay. Well, that's nice. So now you're able to win switch advantage. Yeah, so misplayed by the opponent, but that's fine. Ooh, okay. This Charizard with a little bit of wing attack energy is a little scary. I think, yeah, you definitely come in Quagsire. But again, I do like the fact that SilverFlower always leaves with some energy, making these matchups much harder for the opponents when they come back in to that Quagsire. But yeah, I like this. No shield. Probably could have farmed up like 1 or 2 more Powder Snows, and but the Shadow Ball is enough to KO. Yeah, he kind of had to let this go. All right, so this is going to come down to a bait game, I think. Yeah, I think so here I would go straight for the Stone Edge. I mean, there's a chance the opponent lost track of your energy and doesn't shield, but you have nothing to lose from going to Stone Edge, right? Because you have to get through a shield either way. But it's just, if you're playing someone very experienced, they're going to know this is going to be a Mud Bomb, right? Yeah, so this opponent does know it's Mud Bomb. So this becomes infinitely harder, right? Because if you get a shield there, then that might be a different story. They do bait with the Dragon Claw successfully. But even this, yeah, the last opponent's going to KO, right? Yeah, so I think that situation is one of the situations where you just don't want to bait, right? You always want to... I think that's one of the biggest things I notice from SilverFlower is building up enough energy rather than throwing right away, right? All right, this is actually a pretty good situation. Down. Wow, okay, they no shield. Personally, I'd probably shield this and then Powder Snow down. You could take a Hydro Cannon. Oh, okay, well, that's fine too. It's just there's a greater chance that, I mean, you play a little risky because that could have been an Earthquake, right? If you're going to try to shield to maintain switch advantage anyway, you might as well shield the first one, right? Because I don't think you have time to get this to an Earthquake after baiting a Hydro Cannon there. Either way, though, this is actually, again, probably one of the situations where, like, it's unlikely the opponent doesn't shield. You could just go straight Avalanche. You get a lot of value out of Avalanche. This way, you avoid this matchup, right? So you instead of throwing 2 charges, you only end up throwing 1 because of that, right? But you have Charizard. Pretty nice. They have Power Punch. It could be Psychic. Probably Ice Punch, yeah, because I was like, didn't even build a Psychic. Yeah, go for the Blast Burn. That's fine. It seems like SilverFlower likes to go straight for the nuke moves, and it definitely pays off sometimes, right? Sometimes it's not as useful. But in this situation, it did come in handy. I think in this situation, I'd swap out here a little sooner, right? The moment the Altari comes in, just go Quagsire, because you're not going to get to move. But even if you were going to get to move, like, just get to it later, right? Because if you don't get to the move, you give the Altari a lot of energy, right? Which makes it a little bit hard to deal with. Yeah, 1 Stone is not enough to take out the Altaria, but you still have the charge on the back, right, to take it out. But the problem is now this Altaria actually comes away with so much energy, so they're able to get to that first Sky Attack before you get to that Stone Edge. Yeah, this is a little dicey. I think you just want to farm down at this point, or throw double Mud Bomb. Okay. Let's see. Does the Dragon Breath damage KO you from earlier? No, it should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Good place. I think, again, still just swap out right away when you see that Altaria. But overall, pretty nice. And I think that's it. Yeah, so great job to SilverFlowerSon. And yeah, overall, I think it was pretty good. As we saw, the ELO's around almost 2100. And it looks like Retro Cup was definitely treating them well. So hopefully it's been going well for Great League too. I think, again, the biggest things I saw from that matchup, from things to learn from in these battles for SilverFlower, is building up enough energy to before you bait, right? Especially if you're going for a bait move. I think the Rackmaner was the only one where maybe they just weren't aware that Avalanche is resisted, which is totally fine. The second one is staying in, getting out of matchups that are not as ideal, right? So I think there's a couple times where you're staying in matchups against, I don't know, like in a matchup that like you have 2 better counters for in the back, right? A lot of it does come at the cost of getting some extra energy on the Quagsire, whatever. But typically speaking, in my opinion, only be in bad matchups when you have to, right? Try to reduce the amount of time you're in a bad matchup, right? Like a Mud Boy versus a Flyer, you want to reduce the amount of time you're in it. Because the longer you're in that matchup, the more your opponents benefit from that, right? Then you will. Yes, you get some extra energy, but you're also doing resisted one-shot damage, whereas they're doing neutral, Dragon Breath, Wing Attack, whatever they're using. And I think the third thing, and I didn't see this too much, mostly that Frostlass or Trevenant matchup is really just, if you can, just try to, you know, freshen up on some of the matchups on like which wins what and stuff like that. And I think a lot of this just comes with time. Shout out to SilverFlower SilverFlowerSon for sending me their footage. It was a lot of fun to commentate and see. As always, thank you all for watching, and if you want to submit your own footage, be sure to send me a DM on Twitter at Peng with 10 of your battles in a row, and I'd be happy to critique it on a future episode. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.